Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now this video, I'm going to talk about a few scenarios that could play out for XRP. And these are just speculation. I want to talk about what if Ripple loses against the SEC and what kind of scenario could play out around that as well. So let's take a look. Chris and I had the option to settle separately. We could do that and it would all be behind us. That's how confident Chris and I are that we are right. We will aggressively fight and prove our case. Now, Brad Garlinghouse has made a lot of statements on how confident they are that they're going to win against the SEC. But something keeps telling me to go in the opposite direction. And I think it's because I see what else is going on at the same time with Prometheum and the World Economic Forum and Ripple and the World Economic Forum and Gary Gensler, who I really think met with Klaus Schwab a few times in the past, and even this administration. My idea is this, and like I said, this is just opinion. I really want to know what your opinions are. So say, for instance, we were never supposed to hold XRP. XRP is wholesale, not retail. I'm happy that I am even able to own some for the future. That was Kevin Cage back in 2021. And what if Ripple was to lose the case? People have been speculating around that for quite a while. So say, for instance, we were never supposed to hold XRP and they want to get it out of our hands. How would they do that? What's the best path for them? First off, you have this case and the length of time that this case has been taking, ever since 2020. And when this case first started, a lot of people left crypto, most likely never came back, or they stayed in crypto and just got out of XRP. But if they really want to shake you out, what's the biggest narrative going right now? The case with the SEC is a total sham. I've said it myself many times on this channel. And I always thought it was planned out for Ripple to win so XRP could get that clarity and push forward. And I still believe that today. And that is my main focus of thought, that this is a process that needs to be played out. But on the other hand, if they really want you out of crypto and all the narrative is that XRP is going to $10 once Ripple wins against the SEC, most people believe that. Most people are investing on that idea alone. So then all of a sudden Ripple loses. Most people would sell off their XRP as quick as they can so they don't take any loss, any more loss. And say then what would happen? It would probably dip down to 20 cents like a lot of people predicted, or lower. And not to sound like Michael Saylor, but if that scenario did play out, I would tell you to go dig through your couch and dig up enough loose change as you possibly could find and buy more XRP. Why would I say that if they lost to the SEC? Because again, that would be a separate process. Get retail out, then later XRP is given the green light. And all of a sudden it starts to take off in price. And then everybody would be left with regret that's sold. And, if you look at the narrative and the shifts that we've seen around narratives for the past, well, all through this bear market, even FTX, the fall of that had a lot of speculation around. FTX had a fall at that specific time, so regulations can be fast-tracked. Now we have a Coinbase Binance lawsuit going on at the same time, which I still think BlackRock is playing a major role in that. So it comes down to how you feel things can play out. Because, nobody is right now. Nobody. Because we all speculate. And I like to give things thoughts, even if it's not the popular thought. Right now, everything that's popular is Ripple's going to win. And because of that narrative, it makes me think likewise. As Ripple pivots towards institutions, you all might have to be an accredited investor to own XRP in the future. XRP holders will be rewarded for initially providing the liquidity needed to show proof of concept. Exciting. That's for presenting this theory. And people always had theories. Again, Ripple will pivot towards institution, and all of a sudden you're going to have to be an accredited investor to buy XRP in the future. Well, let's go back to 2022. And Gary Gensler was changing the rules around accredited investors. Initially, you only needed $1 million in assets. He wanted to 10x that up to $10 million back then. Now, I think XRP is the greatest cryptocurrency ever created for cross-border payments and moving money. And that disrupts the whole banking system. It's a really valuable cryptocurrency. But to get to that value, it's going to take a little bit of time. And again, a loss for Ripple would give the amount of time needed for everything to get caught up. Because then they would go through an appeal process, most likely, which could be drug out for a few more months. But I still think all the groundwork is also laid out inside the United States. I'm going to do a separate video on that, because I think FedNow is ready to go live with RippleNet and not Metal or whatever other options were out there over the course of the past year. Accredited investor requirements would eliminate 99.9% of the crypto retail investors. Is this the SEC intent? And that's exactly how they would get most people out. Now, I don't think they would confiscate your XRP. You're already holding it. They would just wait for you to sell it off. That's why a buyback never seemed feasible for me. Because think about it, people are going to sell at different price points. But what was to happen? What's to happen if you sell and you can't buy back in? Nobody ever really gives that thought either. They always think, well, I'll sell at this price and I'll buy back in at that price. Well, what happens if they close off the on-ramps? And that could very well happen as well. The SEC's crypto game plan: starve liquidity by limiting on-off ramps through the exchanges, create murky regulations to scare off new entries, deny licenses and take legal action against crypto businesses, clear the path for TradeFi institutions, cue BlackRock. So I think because we're starting to see new options to buy crypto, you could buy directly on apps now. You could buy certain cryptocurrencies. So even by the SEC going after the exchanges, it's not going to cut off the retail investor from crypto. Something else would have to happen for that to come about. As painful as it is to hear, that you are most probably right. We are very early and the hodlers will benefit, but it's a long road. They want you out, comes with the painful long road. And again, the long road has been extended time and time again through delays with the lawsuit. Then we had a catastrophic year, 2022, the fall of FTX, fall of other things have happened as well. Look at Luna. Look at Wrapped Luna and what's going on with Coinbase. But, you know, I like to give thought to a lot of different scenarios because, again, you could watch video after video after video, and you could come up with an idea from this person and that person and this person over here. And sure, it sounds great, but you also need to give the thought of something different playing out. Because this way, if it doesn't play out the way these people are saying it's going to play out, you're going to be regretting ever believing that. But you got to plan for what comes next. And that's why I'm doing this video. So they want you out. If you can't handle doing nothing, then maybe try something else and get wrecked. You got this. Stay strong and hodl. And that's what I've been telling you all along. You have to stay positive, stay patient, no matter what happens in crypto. Remember, you're holding the greatest asset of all time. You're an XRP holder. Continue holding it no matter what. Even if Ripple loses, hold your XRP. Because again, that would just be another shakeout in the market. And I think they're setting up for that. I really, really do. Long term, the ISO 222 compliant crypto tokens will go up for sure. If institutions go wild in, look out for these ones. And we always knew this was the plan. And we always knew that it was going to lead to XRP moving all the world's money. That's what you got to keep in the back of your mind. That's what you got to hold on to. That's the value. How XRP can grow even if Ripple loses the SEC lawsuit? We already seen Brad Garlinghouse going big in Europe and other places, UAE, Asia. So why is Ripple out there growing in everywhere else but inside the US? I honestly believe it's because all the groundwork in the US is complete. We're just not seeing those big announcements. You got to remember, in the United States, we have a government that doesn't think we're good enough at all for anything. You put it this way, if they know XRP is going to hit astronomical numbers in the future, they don't want you holding it, and they don't think you're good enough to hold it. That's where I was going with that. And that's why I said, if you see Ripple lose and XRP plummets down, go to the couch, dig out the loose change, buy more XRP. Possible outcome, Ripple wins all. L1 surge. Split decision, L1s experience volatility. Ripple loses, Bitcoin surges. Gary will be fired and Congress will establish clear rules within 6 to 9 months. And that's a possible outcome as well, because Congress right now is trying to come up with clear rules around crypto so innovation can grow in this country. And so crypto can strive into the future. But I wanted to do this video today because I want you to know that no matter what happens, XRP is still going to give you financial freedom in the end, whether Ripple wins or not, because that's a short-term drawback, in other words, setback, to get people out. And I think that's a scenario that's very likely. Look at all the people that were tied to that Prometheus, and look at all the people that are tied in with the whole Ethereum gate that we learned about as well. All these people seem to be playing together. And who knows, maybe Ripple's in on it as well. Because even though Brad looks very sincere and very heartfelt when he did that video the other day, I still somehow think Ripple knows a lot more on what the future holds than we do. They're at the heart of all of it. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.